Yo, what's on guys, it's JBAKES here, welcome back to a new video, and today I'm going to bring you my Championship predictions 2019-2020 season with no other than the man Hurstygames. How are you doing, Tom?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing brilliant, bro. So today we're going to run through 24th to 1st, our predictions. I know there's going to be some Championship fans out there that might have clubs where me and Tom will predict, so please don't get butthurt because this is our predictions. If you've got your own, put it down in the comments, boys, because we'd love to hear what you guys think as well. And for the loyal subscribers that have wanted this in my streams, here you go, it's here. And also, boys, make sure to check out Tom in the description, and he's also got his own video coming out with me around my beloved club QPR, so go check that out. And yeah, go over there, drop me a like and sub, and yeah, let's see how that goes. But we're going to be talking today about a SkyBet Championship predictions. So are you ready, Tom, to run through bottom to top?
I think so.
Right. So let's get straight into it. So, my 24th team is going to be a bit controversial because they're a very toxic fan base, and I don't want to be hurt from this, but I've just decided to go for Millwall straight off the bat. For Millwall, just simply because I don't feel like they've improved their squad really. They've got players from teams that have gone down, teams that have struggled, such as the Ipswich goalkeeper. They've actually got, I can't say his name, I won't even attempt it. But yeah, they've got players from like Bournemouth and stuff like that, Conor Mahoney. They've got some positive signings, but I don't feel like they've really improved last year. Getting out someone like Steve Morrison, who's like a very father figure of the club, I just think that wasn't really a good decision from them. But I'm going to say Millwall is my 24th spot.
Jeez, man. Well, we've got quite different starts already. I've gone straight off the bat, and I've gone with the newly promoted Barnsley, going straight back down bottom of the table.
Interesting.
I think their team's just not quite. I mean, obviously we could be proven wrong because there is still time in the transfer window, but I don't think they've improved. Like basically the same reason you said for Millwall. I just don't think they've improved the squad enough to be as competitive as they need to be in the Championship.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Because for my 23rd, I've actually gone Barnsley, so not too far off. But the reason I put Millwall 24th, Barnsley 23rd, I've seen a bit of improvement from Barnsley in my opinion. They've like got quite a bit of net spend. They've sold two of their best players, Lindsay and Pinnock, to Brentford and Stoke, and they brought in Connor Chaplin from Coventry, which is a decent sign. I think he can do right for them. I don't think he'll keep them up, but they've signed some decent clubs, decent players from clubs in League One and stuff like that. So I think they'll be all right, but I don't think they'll stay up. So yeah, for me, Barnsley is going to be 23rd.
Fair enough. Well, my 23rd, I've got with Charlton, another newly up team. Again, somewhat similar reasoning. Like they've got good players, they've got a good squad. Did very well last season. Actually, I think surprised a few people.
Yeah.
But again, just kind of that same thing. I don't know if they're going to be. I just don't know if they're quite going to hit the Championship running like they want to be.
Yeah, kind of like a yo-yo club, aren't they?
Yeah. It's just a bit. It was a tough one, honestly. The bottom three were the toughest choice for me. I found the bottom three the hardest decision out of the whole thing.
Yeah, it's difficult to try and pinpoint the bottom three because like there's so many teams from like in the league, literally from 7th down to 24th. It could be anyone. Like you just don't know. Like someone could just have a bad season. So yeah, that's decent. Right, 22nd, I've decided to go for Reading. Simply just because ever since they got in that playoff final against Huddersfield, they lost the likes of Danny Williams and stuff like that. They just haven't really been producing much, and I feel like this is the year they will drop. Obviously, they've sacked who is it? Did they have Nigel Adkins for a bit, and then he went back there and left, or was that Hull? I can't remember. But they had Paul Clement, I believe, and he was supposed to be the next big thing, and he didn't work there. They had Yap Stam, he done brilliant for them, and then decided to just get his head as soon as they started playing bad. So I haven't seen him actually do anything brilliant in the window. I see they brought in Charlie Adam. I mean, he's finished, and like I don't understand what that was for. And then they brought, I think they renewed the contract of Mark McNulty, and then decided to loan him out to Sunderland, which is a bit weird.
Bit of a weird one.
I don't know. It's just they haven't brought in anyone that I believe strengthened their squad, and they haven't been doing very well recently in Championship. So my 22nd spots is Reading. So the three relegated from me is Reading, Barnsley, and Millwall. Sorry if you're a fan of them boys. But yeah, Tom, who do you have in 22nd?
Well, my bottom three is Barnsley, Charlton, and also Reading. I went with Reading in 22nd. I fully agree with you. I think it's looking a bit of a dreary season for them. I think Reading fans are kind of slowly getting to a point of it is getting worse and worse each season.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they kind of need to go down to restart again. Like, I think that would kind of buck the ideas up of the top bods there. So as much as it sucks getting relegated, like no one wants to get relegated, I do think actually at Reading that is almost inevitable, and I do kind of think it needs to happen to sort of turn things around there, honestly.
I think you can tell as well around Reading, it's like they used to have a packed stadium, but now it's like no one goes. I went there away a couple of seasons ago, Bidwell missed a penalty, and the support's not there. Like, it's just a bit of like a corporate ground now, and it's just like I don't like to see that from clubs anymore. Like, it's not football. Like, I don't know, it's just a bit weird. But yeah, 3 relegated teams for me and Tom are very similar. However, one of Tom's relegated teams is 21st for me, and that is Charlton. Okay. I believe they made some positive signings. They've made the signings of Tom Lockyer on a free, Macaulay Bond from Leyton Orient. He seems alright. I had him in Foot Manager a couple of times, boys. So you watch a Foot Manager, make sure to check him out. But yeah, he seems pretty decent. So they made some positive signings. Obviously, coming up with Lee Bowyer, they decided to give him an extra year. Have the faith in Lee Bowyer, and I feel like he's a man of the club really around there. And I think you get the best out of his players, such as Lyle Taylor. Obviously, they signed Johnny Williams, something we was heavily linked with as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe that they can. I reckon they'll do some bits this year. I think they'll finish 21st, but however, no one knows. No one knows. But yeah, I think Charlton will finish 21st, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Well, I've gone with a promoted team in 21st. I've gone with Luton. I think it's going to be close, but I just think out of the 3, I think it's just their play style. I think their play style is going to suit Championship. I think they're physical enough. Yeah. I honestly think James Collins is going to be so important for them this year.
Yeah, he's a very good striker. Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen him come to QPR. I really would have done. I think he just fits the Championship so well. He's got the strength, he's got the height, he's physical, but he's still good with his feet. He scored plenty of goals for them last season. And I think they're quite... They kind of know what they're wanting to do. They're kind of understanding what they're trying to go for this season. Yeah. And I think they're not going to be daft and thinking, oh, let's push up this table. I think they're going to go, right, let's survive.
Consolidation.
And go from... Yeah, exactly. And I think out of the 3 promoted teams, in my opinion, I think they're best fit going forward. I
think that as well, because, like, their ground is kind of fit for the Championship. When you need that... Like, see at Loftus Road or the Kieran Prince Foundation Stadium, but our compact pitch, like it.
Yeah.
The noise Luton fans made in League 2 and League 1, no doubt they'll be more up for it in the Championship, giving the boys everything. So with the momentum the fans can give them close to the pitch and stuff like that at Kenilworth Road, I think it's going to be amazing for them this season. I think they'll be dark horses, in my opinion. They could finish anywhere in this league. No one knows. Luton are not predicted to stay up or do anything good. It's kind of like they're just coming into it free rein off the bat and just going to think, let's just prove everyone wrong. So yeah, I believe.
I think they're like the Sheffield United of the Championship. I don't think anyone expects them to do too well.
And then
I think both teams know that they've got the ability to do pretty well. Yeah. Like, so I genuinely see them just about staying up this season, I reckon.
All right, cool. 20th place for me then. I've decided to go for Wigan. Just simply because they've been kind of a solid side in the Championship. They haven't really done any business. It's been, any kind of reputational signings for me. They brought in David Marshall, a good goalkeeper from Hull, but that's about it in my opinion. They brought in Anthony Robinson from Everton, but I think they've got a solid squad. Like, they've consolidated themselves in the Championship recently. Obviously went down a couple of years ago, but now actually keeping themselves in there. They don't like an away trip to Loftus Road, but yeah, I think they'll be alright. I think they'll be safe 20th. So Wigan fans, I think you'll be in the Championship next year. Hopefully you can start investing, because Wigan used to be a decent side. Like, they used to have Charles and Zogby and stuff like that. So yeah, Wigan, you'll be alright. So yeah.
Well, I've also put Wigan in 20th. I think that very similar reasons. They've bought a couple of players in that's a bit of experience, and they've kept a lot. As I could be very wrong, but I don't think they've actually offloaded too much this season. So I think actually what they've kept is going to definitely be solid in keeping them going forward. And I like you said, I think they just consolidate, survive, and sort of wait till a point where they can actually start to properly rebuild. Yeah,
the only player they didn't get to keep that was relative that actually helped them a lot last year, I'd say, is Nick Powell. He was a very big signing, loan signing for them last year, because I remember, I think they played Bolton away or something, and he scored 5. They won 5-2 and he scored 5, so I think he's going to be a big miss for them. But yeah, like I said, they did bring in some players from like. They said they've promoted a lot of their youngsters. I saw on Twitter the other day when you just go through like the trending pages on football. So it'd be an interesting season for Wigan because they haven't spent much, but they're going through youth. So yeah, that's interesting. Both 20th. 19th now. This was a hard one for me to put this team in 19th because they had such a good season last year, and then it's all just gone wrong for them recently. I've decided to put Birmingham in 19th, right? Because it just something clicked in Birmingham last year. And they were playing really good football, and then obviously they got deducted points for financial fair play, and then decided to sack Gary Monk, and then saying they're not going to appoint a manager until the season starts and gets underway. So they're having their caretaker manager as interim boss, which I think is an absolutely senile decision. Like, I think they're going to be terrible this year, but they'll stay up because there's worse teams than them. But why would you not appoint a manager when you've got all that window to appoint a manager, get his team sorted, when they haven't really brought anyone in? Like, they brought in Chelsea loanee Jake Clark-Salter, the captain of under-21s for England, which that would be a good signing for them. But apart from that, Gary Gardner, like, come on now, is he going to do anything? Like, really? But they brought in Gary Gardner, and they've let like Che Adams go, like a very influential goal scorer. Jota, Aston Villa, their rivals. Like that, what kind of ambition is that, boys? So, yeah, 19th Birmingham, you'd be alright. Let me know, Birmingham fans watching this as well, because I think you're probably one of the teams this year that I feel the most hard done by, from like your owner's point of view. So, yeah, let me know in the comments, boys. But who have you got in 19th, Tom?
I think that's fair what you said, but I've actually gone with Blackburn.
Wow.
I think Blackburn are going to have a bit of a rocky season. I think there are I think for me, Blackburn have got some very specific players that really pull the strings and make Blackburn work. And that's happened for the last couple of seasons. I really start to think that actually that's going to get caught out by a fair few people, and I think that it's whether they can adapt enough. I would happily see Blackburn push up the table a few spaces from that, but this is purely based on, I think tactically, I think they're going to get kind of caught out because and this for me is mainly based off of the last few seasons where I've seen them play against us. They've played very similar.
Yeah. They've only won against us for a penalty, I remember.
Yeah. I just think it's gonna get sort of caught out, and teams are gonna know how to stop their better players, and they'll struggle to pick up points as frequently as they did. It
kind of all just goes through Bradley Dack, doesn't it? And if he's not playing, then they're rubbish. So, yeah, I fully understand that. So, yeah, decent. Right, 18th for me. I've decided to go for Luton. You put them a bit lower down. I just think, like, the way I said about the pitch, the players, the belief that the fans will have, the belief the players will have, I think going into a fresh season in the Championship, I think the last time they were in the Championship was 2003, I believe. So, a long time coming. But I remember, because it's on my FIFA 03 Game Boy. I remember playing in the Championship. But yeah, they brought in some decent signings, I believe, Luton. They've obviously kept the services of Loire. I'd like to see him do well, because he wasn't that bad at us, but he wasn't really the best. But I'd like to see him do well. They brought in like Tunnicliffe on a free. McManaman from Wigan, so that's a signing Wigan lost. But I think they could be alright, Luton. They've got a decent side, so yeah, I'm going to put them in 18th.
No, fair enough. And again, like you were saying before, there's so few points between that sort of like bottom 8, bottom 9, that actually any of these predictions could just be changed by like 1 point. So like, the difference in Luton finishing, say, something like 21st and like 19th or 18th could be a point. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I've gone with Millwall up next.
Wow, that's a massive change for me and you.
Yeah, I think Millwall are going to surprise a few people. I think big man Matt Smith's going to be banging about 40, maybe 45 goals this season.
Jesus.
No, I'm taking a mic. But I just think I actually see goals in Millwall this season. I think I've always seen Millwall as like a very classic and typical Championship team of physicality, no nonsense, and just like grinding out a point, like working for 90 minutes to get that late equaliser or get that winner. Like I personally, I just think that actually Millwall are gonna stay safe this season, and I personally, like I said, I think they've made some decent pickups, but I think their strikers, for me, that's going to be the big difference. I think they've got a really nice partnership up top, and I think that's going to be somewhat clutch for them this year.
Who are their strikers?
Well, obviously big man Matt.
Yeah.
And the other lad whose name has straight up gone out my head, mate, and. Oh, that's actually going to do my nut in.
I was going to say, I was thinking Gregory. He's gone to Stoke now, isn't he? So.
Well, I'm going to be very unprofessional. I'm going to Google it. I think it begins with a J, but I could be lying.
Oh, I think I know you're speaking. I just can't remember it. Yeah, it's one of them names where if you see it, you'll know it, but if you don't have it on you. Oh, they've signed Bodvarsson, I think. That's it.
Is it Bodvarsson? Oh, Bodvarsson.
Yeah, John Dardy. No, it starts with a J though. Bodvarsson. So.
Yeah. Bodvarsson. That's it. Yeah.
So I
that's a decent shout.
I agree with you. Like they have made some good signings, but I just feel like the style of football they play and like the staleness of the club, in my opinion, for Millwall, like keeping Neil Harris there is good, but I just feel like 4-4-2 classic pump. It's just modern game now. It's getting a bit old. So that's the reason I put them down there. But like I said, it can literally like last couple of years, it's been down to the final wire. Like it could be 3 points from 23rd to like 18th. So no one knows. We don't know. We're doing this off our own head. So yeah, please don't just roast us in the comments. Thanks very much. So yeah, 18th place, decent. 17th place, I've gone with Sheffield Wednesday. Kind of just because the way the club's been handled at the moment. Obviously, Steve Bruce done very well for them last year. I don't believe they lost at home when Steve Bruce come in. So they had a very good season when Steve Bruce did come in. But however, they haven't got managed at the moment. They're kind of focusing more on the club statements around having to sue Newcastle and Steve Bruce. They haven't brought anyone in really. So haven't really improved their squad. But I feel like they've got a decent squad. Like I believe they've got like Adam Reach. He scores bangers from anywhere. Like if you just see the top 10 goals championship, there'll be probably about 30 yards just looping left foot. Yeah, like I think Sheffield Wednesday could surprise a few people this year, but for me it's 17th simply because mid-table's so hard to predict. So this is the whole mid-table from here to like 7th is just a cluster of teams that have been around there the last couple of years. Yeah. And it's just the way I've ordered it. But yeah, they've let go like George Boyd. I thought he was a decent player, but he's gone to Peterborough, which that's a great signing for them. Marco Matthias they've let go. Gary Hooper is another decent name for them, I believe. They brought in Kadeem Harris from Cardiff, a young winger, but yeah, I decided to put them 17th because they're managerless at the moment. They're kind of just focusing on the Steve Bruce situation. And yeah, basically 17th Sheffield Wednesday fans.
Fair enough. I have gone with Preston. I think they're going to... I just see certain teams struggling this season. Yeah. That in the last couple of seasons have kind of been at, maybe like a comfortable sort of mid-table thing. I just see them dropping a couple of places. And I don't know. I think for me... I'll happily say this. I'm far less informed than Bakes is, right? I'm far less I haven't got as much knowledge of signings and pickups and whatever else. That's just not. I'm just lazy like that. I don't look into it as much. But I think it's been a similar style for them for the last couple of seasons. And I don't know. It was a bit of a tough one for me. Like you say, these next 3 or 4 kind of could be anywhere. But yeah. I feel like with that as well, it's because Preston finished 7th, I believe, one year, and that was their year, and like now they've kind of turned into a bit of a selling club, in my opinion. Like getting rid of like Callum Robinson, Tommy Spur, Ben Pringle, Maxwell. Like a lot of their players that were first team football have kind of gone. But Preston are also a weird side as well. Like we never beat Preston. I remember one year we lost them at home 2-0. Ned Manua scored an own goal. Like when does Ned Manua score an own goal? Like Preston just our bogey team. So yeah, but no, that's a decent prediction. Right, for 16th for me, I've gone Preston. Hello, Preston. Oh,
I've gone Preston. So yeah, I've only put one place up above you, so it's not too different. I believe they'll be all right. I don't think they'll have as good seasons as they've had previously. They've got like Barcos and what's his name? Josh Harrops. They're good signings for them. Well, not good signings, but good players for them on the wing.
Yeah.
They brought in David Nugent up front. I don't know how well he's going to be now at the prime age of 97. I think he's just been one of them strikers that hangs around for ages. He just comes on as a sub, runs around, and then goes home. Like, I know he played Preston Boyhood Club, I believe, but yeah, it's like them signing Jermaine Beckford again. Like, it's just for the fans, really. It's not really.
Yeah.
But yeah, they brought in Patrick Bauer, a good signing from Charlton, I believe. Charlton will miss their captain. We were interested in him, so yeah. Mark, why don't you get that done? But apart from that, they haven't brought anyone in really. Like, bit of a boring season for Preston, I'm not gonna lie. Ben HD, if you're watching this and you're a Preston fan and you said Preston are going to finish 12th, you're an idiot. So yeah, Preston 16th.
Fair enough. For me, 16th, I've gone with Hull. They've had a really sort of rough end to last season. It hasn't really looked to improve too much for them this season. They've made some quite sort of uninspiring pickups. Like, as far as I'm sort of concerned, I know of like 2 or 3, and none of them are really players that I would would have thought would be pushing their first team, honestly.
Ingram, what? You said that.
I mean, yeah, that's just one example. Obviously, they've still got Bowen at the moment, which is fantastic. They've still got Grzycki, if that's how it's said.
I think he's gone.
Is he gone now?
Yeah, I think so. Let me quickly have a look.
Well, I've just mugged myself off then.
Nah, that's right. Keep going.
But even Jared Bowen, like he alone, he's kind of like. I mean, I don't know whether people would say they're comparable, but like Freeman for us, I think is a real can turn a game on its head. Like the Bradley Dack situation.
Yeah.
But I just think Millwall are slightly better equipped around. But for me, it's their lack of inspiring signings that's.
He's still there, Tom. Don't worry.
Is he?
Yeah. I saw say about they need to cut their wage bill, so I thought he was leaving. So.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
I think those two will do well enough to keep them sort of in around that position. But it's just the lack of inspiring signings and real first team pickups for me that's had them as low as they are here.
Fair enough. For me in 15th, I decided to go for Blackburn. I can't remember you put Blackburn, but I put Blackburn in 15th because
19th.
Realistically, Blackburn are not going to go down. They're kind of just a solid side for me. Obviously, they signed the likes of Bradley Johnson from Derby, which I think for them, on a free, is a bloody great signing. I think Bradley Johnson is a very good Championships player. Sam Gallagher from Southampton, 5 million. I don't know how Southampton got 5 million for Freeman. We got 5 million for Freeman. Like QPR, you're the worst negotiation board ever. All right, but they got Sam Gallagher 5 million. Stuart Downing as well, coming to the age of 34. He'd be a decent player for them, I believe. But yeah, Blackburn remaining decent signings. One person I'd like to see for Blackburn do well is Ben Gladwin. Ben, pull your finger out your ass, right? He's a good sign at Swindon, and you come to us and you wasn't great. But please, for the love of God, don't make Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank like an idiot for signing you. Please be decent for Blackburn because you look promising. So be like your brother Luongu. So yeah, but Blackburn 15th for me.
Well, for me, I've gone with Birmingham. A little bit higher up than you had them. I know obviously the turmoil and stuff they're going through. Again, I think they've got that ability to just kind of like you said with Blackburn. Like I just see them as like a championship side, and I just kind of see them doing okay. They've had a bit of a ridiculous start to the year that you wouldn't want as any fan base. You wouldn't want that at all.
Not having a manager, right?
Yeah, but I think they'll have a rough start, and it again that for me it massively depends on who they get in. Like it really does massively depend on who they get in.
Yeah, they could sign like 4 players transfer window or deadline day, like we did with Hugh Gill. Like if we didn't have Hugh Gill, we would think, we're not going to finish high as we think. But because you got, I'd have said
QPR by now if we hadn't had Hugh Gill coming in. Like
he's a proven goal scorer at this level.
Yeah, but I think depending on the manager coming in and depending on if they get any pickups, that they could finish this high. So that's kind of dependent on that, my pick. But otherwise, I'd see him going lower than I said, and it depends on the manager massively who they get in.
Yeah. Okay. I've just seen as well, Ben Gladwin's been released from Blackburn. So Ben, I'm sorry, mate, but your career's going anywhere. Right. 14th, I'm gone with Hull. Simply just because they've got a decent squad. They kept their best signings. They brought in a couple of names that could excite people, such as Josh Bowler. Played for QPR against Norwich for about 6 minutes. Then we ended up selling for 3 million. So that was probably the best business we've actually made. Considering he played 6 minutes and we signed for £3 million. They brought in Matt Ingram, a car crash for goalie. So Hull fans, if you're expecting a good goalkeeper, Matt Ingram isn't one. They signed Peterborough centre back Ryan Tazafoli. He seems alright. I think he's like Iranian or something, I believe. There's never been a good Iranian player, but yeah. He seems alright. I think he'll be alright. So yeah, Hull, you'll stay up. Siri, go away. Yeah, but Siri, you'll stay up. Hull, you'll be alright. You'll consolidate your season with the likes of Irvine and stuff like that. So yeah, you'll be alright, Hull. I've gone 14th.
Fair enough. 14th for me, I've gone with Sheffield Wednesday. A tad higher than you put them. But I think realistically, for me, them, Birmingham, Hull, Preston, those are like the 4 teams that I kind of see could finish anywhere in that little mix.
Yeah,
like
it's hard to predict this place.
Yeah, very hard. And like you said, with the whole Steve Bruce situation, and it's tricky. But I think it depends on, again, it can massively depend on who they pick up and who they get in, because like you say, business has been somewhat quiet.
And they've only got to the 8th. They haven't got long. It's only 8th now. It's not the 31st.
It's not the 31st now, so it's creeping up. But
it is.
I think even with the squad they've got, with the players they've kind of let go as well included, I think I can see them doing okay in that mid-table mark, but near the bottom end of it. So I wouldn't call them like near the bottom of the table, but that sort of bottom of the mid-table is where I've seen.
And of course, they did lose to us last game of the season, so
obviously,
I mean, that is a
Matt
very good way
Smith
to...
belter.
Yeah, Matt, we always remember you.
Great.
But that isn't the best way to end your season, to start the new one, because Keeper never went away, and we've got a song for it, so you should be embarrassed.
True story.
So yeah, 13th place for me. Now this was a really difficult one, because they just kind of decide that you'd think they'd be up there, but they just aren't. So, and they just kind of decomposed as a club recently. I decided to go for Swansea. Simply because they just let all their great players go that kept them up last year and actually play really good football for them, such as Leroy Fer. He was let go on a free. Narsing was let go on a free. Martin Olsen was let go. Jordan Ayew's gone to Palace. Daniel James has gone to United. Personally, I'm looking back at my decision now to put them 13th. I think they should be lower down when I'm looking at my predictions now, because of all the first team players they've let go, and they've only brought in Ben Wilmot from Watford, who previously at Stevenage, and Jake Bidwell. And Bidwell, I'm sorry Swansea fans, but if you want a player that doesn't want to sprint, then you've got Bidwell, because he doesn't know how to run and faster than 5 miles an hour. But yeah, it's just like none of their business has been inspiring. Like, you look at the players they've got there, I can't even name a centre midfielder they've got at the moment. I feel like George Byers or something like that. Like, who the hell is George Byers? Like, I don't know any of their players. They've got like Carl Bartley. Is he still there? No, he's at West Brom now, isn't he?
He's gone West Brom, yeah.
Yeah, Swansea fans, I feel like it might be a bit of a sour season for you, but I've decided to keep you guys in 13th. But realistically now, I probably should have put you down about 18th, 19th, because I feel like you guys are rubbish. So, yeah, Swansea fans, come at me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that so bad, but realistically, look at their squad and they brought in. It's kind of a bit of tragedy, but yeah.
Well, I think Swansea fans can be somewhat optimistic if we've both put them in 13th, because I've done the exact same. I've stuck them up in 13th as well. So, because thinking about it, I was just reading through the teams that we haven't said yet, and I think actually the bottom up to Swansea, we've said all of like the same teams, not in the same place.
Yeah.
But all of the same teams. So we've gone for the bottom half of the table and the top half of the table. We've got the same teams in there. So I think Swansea, again, like you say, a lot of players going out. Some money coming in for some of them. Some of them obviously going on a free, like Narsing, like Fer. It's kind of happening a lot. Like it happened with us. A lot of players going on frees that you think actually probably could have got a little bit for that. Like,
yeah, like Bidwell.
He could have gone for something. Yeah. I think yes, Bidwell's got his flaws. I think that he's a championship player. He's played in the championship for many seasons, and seeing as they've let so many players go, I think it's good to get in someone with a bit of experience. He's not going to change their season. He's not going to set the world afire, right?
Don't score penalties.
Good old backward Bidwell. He'll get you a good couple of games where he'll do all right, and then he'll kind of just be there sometimes. But I think I agree with 13th. I think that sort of mid-table mark, it's lower than Swansea should be. Like when you think about
how many years
Swansea's recent history, they really should be higher up the table than 13th. But I think that's a realistic target for them this season.
Yeah, I think the thing is with Swansea as well, it's like the old days of Michu and Danny Graham, they're gone. So it's like they kind of have to deal with Ollie McBurney, but I mean he's decent, but he's leaving as well. So that's another player that's going out the door.
Yeah.
But they're getting 70 million for him, so it could change quickly, and they could get. That's what they'd be waiting for a deal and then bringing loads of players on that money. But yeah, Swansea City, you'll be 13th. The Swansea fans, I'm just saying, if you love a guy who wears tape on his hands, Bidwell is your man. So he loves a bit of tape.
Does love a good bit of tape, doesn't he?
So 12th for me, I've decided to go for Nottingham Forest. It's a weird one, Nottingham Forest, because the start of last season, people thought they were going to go up, like promoted automatically because of the new owners, bringing all the money, bringing all the players. I think they brought in the likes of like Goncalves from Benfica, Hurry Silva, something like that. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
they brought in some great players, but it just didn't really click. Like they didn't have. Did they still have Karanka there, or was he gone? No,
he went, didn't he?
He left, and then did they get Martin O'Neill and then sacked him, and they got some random bloke from Olympiacos, I believe. So that was on. They literally announced him 10 minutes after sacking Martin O'Neill, so that was great. They brought in Sammy Amiobi and Albert Adoma. Albert Adoma, good signing, good championship player. Sammy Amiobi, don't understand that at all. Like, he done alright with Bolton last year, but he's kind of been that player that's just been hanging off his brother's name. So, they're probably Muric from City. Good signing, to be honest. That's a great signing. They've got two of the world's tallest goalkeepers now. They've got Muric and Pantilimon. So, yeah, but Nottingham Forest, I think you're a fan. I think you'll be alright. You've got a decent team. Obviously, let Ben Osborne go. And any other initial players? Now, no one else. Oh, Sadi Janko's left. He looks decent. But, yeah, apart from that, Nottingham Forest, you'll have a decent season. Not that inspiring, but if you'll have a good season, it would have been last year, in my opinion, for one of the players you brought in. But, yeah, this year, I'm predicting Nottingham Forest finish 12th.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, if they've watched my stuff, will know who I've said I think is going to finish 12th all season, or like all of the build-up to this season. But because I made an error and I missed a team out earlier, it's bumped some people up places. So for me, Nottingham Forest are in 12th place. Who'd have thought it, mate? So that's absolutely nuts. But I just realistically, pretty much what you said, I think that it's going to be not quite as impressive as last season. I think they're going to struggle a bit more than maybe they expect, honestly. I think a lot of Nottingham Forest fans will be pretty optimistic going into the season because they've made some good pickups. But I think they're dropping in certain players, and I think business-wise, it hasn't been very good for them. I don't think they've had a good
very
business
negative.
like year. Yeah, it's like you said, Adoma I think is a fantastic pickup. I highly rate Adoma. I think he's versatile. I think he's a really good forward, a great winger. But I just think that to me isn't enough for them to push and do something similar to, like, you know, be higher up in that table. So
yeah,
I have to agree with you. And again, Forest in 12th. Yeah.
I just think the amount of money they invested last year, if they don't do well this year, they could be caught up in financial fair play again. Because didn't they spend like 50 million, something like that?
It was quite a lot last year. Yeah, it was quite a lot. But maybe that is partly the reason they've had a quieter
transfer window. Yeah,
even it out a little bit.
Maybe since QPR got done, they've kind of been checking out. Right, 11th place. I decided to go for my beloved Super Roots in QPR. A lot of you probably think I'm being very biased with this because every other prediction video I've watched, and obviously I've been talking about QPR. Until this week on Sunday, or Sunday before this, or even before the Watford game, I would have said QPR to be hanging around 19th to 15th. But because of the business we've done, we've brought in 14 players, we've spent no money whatsoever apart from like 50k, I think, on Liam Kelly. Yeah. And was Dillian Barnes a free as well? I think he was. Yeah,
Barnes
was a free. Apart from that, we've got transfer activity outgoings or incomings, but outgoings of players of £7 million. So that's being good. But the likes of the players we've brought in, it's been very impressive for me. We've brought in Todd Kane, a great championship player, like played well for the whole last year. I think it'll be a big miss for them. Brought in the Twente young midfielder from City, Matt Smith. Jeff Cameron as well, very solid. Johan Barbe, ball playing defender. He's been really impressive. He can ping a ball for sure. Yeah. Luke Amos, Dominic Ball. Dominic Ball isn't the most inspiring player. However, when I watched him against Watford, I thought he was alright. He was great.
Composed,
like, some of his passing was right. Lee Wallace, a bit of a strange one for me, I think. We've got Ryan Manning, who I think is a great player. I think he's very suited to left back. The centre midfielders we're bringing in, I feel like he would be Mark Warburton's man out there. But he's bringing Wallace in for that friendship and I think just like that leadership roles. Mark Pugh obviously coming in, a great signing as well. I think in my opinion that's like a 10 out of 10 signing. He'll be a marquee for this year. Hopefully he starts against Stoke, but then who do you drop? Do you drop Samuel? Do you drop Eze? We've got so many options this year in my opinion. I think if Eze don't live up to his name this year, I'd say get rid, simply just because there's so many players that deserve a chance, like Smythe. And I feel like Smythe isn't given the chance, or Chair isn't given the chance because of Eze. I feel like Eze hasn't lived up to his name. So, yeah, I was trying to go 11th. If people want to know more, go check out Tom's video, because I guarantee we'll be talking a lot more about QPR in this video. But yeah, for me, QPR 11th. If you guys are shocked by that, I don't care. 11th, let's go.
Well, prepare to be equally shocked as I place QPR in 11th.
What is going on? Boys, lads, watching this video, right? We have not spoke about this whatsoever. We've been trying to get this video planned for about 2 months, right? And we decided to get it done today. We have not spoke at all. We've literally spoke about me cleaning my teeth today. That is it.
That is pretty much the entire conversation we've had today. You're not wrong.
What is going on?
I fully agree with you. Up until QJO, I placed us in about 16th. I've been saying on streams a lot that I was fairly confident with roughly a 12th place. I agree. Great pickups. I think obviously we're missing the likes of Luke Freeman. No one knows what's happening with Masalawongo.
He was
if
training
he ends
on the
up
Monday
staying,
session.
that's good. I think that's good. The possibility that we might keep Masalawongo is actually nuts. If we manage to keep hold of Mas, I'm going to be so ecstatic. Honestly, I will be gassed on it because he is so class. He, for the last like 2-3 seasons, has been my favourite player.
I've been trying to tell my dad, like, he is when we, because when he went out on that international break and we played like we had Scowen and Cousins in the middle.
Yeah,
it just wasn't great. Like I said to my dad, like, just look at the midfield, right? No one out of them two can get the ball and drive it forward like he does. He'll carry the ball, win a free kick in our half. And the amount of headers we scored last year, I believe he got fouled last year against Nottingham Forest away or something, and we went and won that game from a header from Leicester. So I think he is a very good ball carrier. Yes, his first touch and passing isn't great. That might come under a flaw from Mark Warburton because he wants to play that kind of football, and that's why he's brought in a centre mids in. But I'd like to give Mas because he's a very heavy tackler. He'll go into challenges, never gets injured. Wears his heart on his sleeve, and that's what I love about Mas. Like, he might not be the best technically, but he'll put 110% in every game. He needs to lose a bit of weight in his arse. Like, he's got a massive arse. Like, he runs around. Like, I don't know how you carry that thing around with you, but yeah, I just feel like he's been a very consistent player since coming in from Swindon, and
agreed.
He's been the only player we've signed for about that price tag, £3 million, over Washington and Gladwin. That's been worth it. So well done to the recruitment team, but. Yeah, I just feel like
I think we're going to do alright.
I think we'll do alright. The only thing I'm missing from our point of view is a bit of Darnell Furlong. I feel like he would be a big miss.
Gutted. I'm absolutely gutted, honestly.
Yeah, it's just a bit gutting, really.
Absolutely
Only going for $1 million as well.
For 1.5 is just disgusting. Like, honestly, I saw him as a future captain. I really did.
Yeah, so right. He was captain against Vienna.
He was captain for the pre-season he was there, yeah. And I'm gutted.
Now it's Hull, so. And the squad numbers got released today, if you haven't seen them. Hughie was number 9.
I haven't seen him yet, actually. I'll have a look after.
Yeah, Hugo was number 9, so yeah. But, yeah, decent. So yeah, QPR 11th. I'm sorry to all the other clubs, but we kind of spoke about QPR a lot more because we do support them, so and we know more about them, so yeah, but I feel like we've actually done quite well for a prediction video so far. Right, 10th for me. I've decided to put in Middlesbrough. Now, 10th down to 1st for me was very hard. I'll tell you why, because the sides that I put in have been performing very well in the Championship recently, and also sides that have come up. So it's just a bit of a difficult one because they could either have really good seasons or just not click very well. But I've decided to put Middlesbrough in 10th because they kind of got rid of the dead wood they didn't want there, such as like Downing, Obi Mikel, Lonergan, Konstantopoulos as well. He was 40 years of age still at their club. So imagine having a 40-year-old keeper. That's like Teddy Sheringham played for Colchester when he was 46. So that's mad. But yeah, they brought in some good players, to be honest. They brought in Marcus Brown, a very good under-23 player from West Ham. I've had him on some career modes. He's a very good player. Mark Bowler from Blackpool. He was Blackpool's Player of the Year, I believe. So like we got Samuel when he was their Player of the Year. They've gone suit and got him. Obviously, Braithwaite's gone out on loan, so that's a big miss for them. And they've obviously got Hugo this season. So striker-wise, I can't remember who they've got striker-wise. But I think Middlesbrough got enough quality to end up staying up. As well as obviously doing well. I don't know why I said staying up, but mid-table, should I say, in 10th. So yeah, Middlesbrough in 10th for me. I think they'll be alright.
I just want to repeat what Bakes said, that we haven't discussed this. We have not compared squads or tables.
Oh wow.
But Middlesbrough, I've also got Middlesbrough in 10th place.
This is insane. This is the QPR connection here. More collabs coming soon, boys. More collabs.
I just pretty much exactly what you said. I think they've offloaded perfectly. I think they've not really got rid of like ignoring like loan deals and whatever else. They've not got rid of players that they would like want to keep permanently. Yeah. And I think they've brought in some half decent players. Like I think they're a very good side. I think Middlesbrough are a fantastic side. Great support, and I just see them doing a decent job in the Championship, and I fully agree. Around a 10th place finish, I think is 100% realistic.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, 9th for me. I've decided to go for Derby. I wonder if you got Derby 9th. I'm just trying to think, but yeah, I've decided to go Derby 9th. Possibly could have been a bit lower because of all the loans that have gone back, such as Tamori, Mount, Wilson. Kind of all the signings they've had to send back on loan. Obviously, Lampard's first season management. In my opinion, right, with the whole Lampard situation, Derby were getting playoffs anyway and getting around that. And I don't think, realistically, the players that he's got on loan, who are very good Premier League players that he's got into the Championship, who their first season Championship alright, but the kind of players and calibre he brought in, to not actually go out of that squad is a bit concerning, because the amount of numbers they were putting up, beat Leeds as well. I know Villa are a very good side, like only one team goes up, but I'm just not convinced about that. Like, I think Derby really done what they normally do anyway, so I don't know why he got so much praise. I don't think just because he's a legend of Chelsea, he got the job, but yeah, but they've only brought in 2 players, in my opinion. Derby, that's going to be good for them. Well, they've only brought in 2 players, to be honest, anyway. They brought in Graham Shinney from Aberdeen on a free transfer, which, to be honest, is he going to be any decent for them going forwards? They've let go of Bradley Johnson and replaced him with Shinney. Like, I think Bradley Johnson's better than him, to be honest. He played a lot of games for them last year, Shinney as well. And they brought in Kieran Dow, who's a great signing for them, I believe. You've watched him last year at Sheffield United. Was he last year at Sheffield United? I believe he was.
Sheffield United, yeah.
Yeah, he played really well. Like, I remember he scored a header against West Brom. He's a very good player. Like, someone that, if I saw in the team, I'd think, yeah, he'll be starting. He's a good player. So, yeah, they're 2 decent signings for Derby. But they let go of some of their great kind of influential players they had last year. They've let go of Craig Bryson. He's gone. That was the part of the deal they got Graham Shinney with. Obviously, he went the other way to Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Jacob Butterfield, like I said, going on Luton Town. I don't know whether he played or not. Nick Blackman's gone to Mikel Tel Aviv. And then Alex Pearce has gone to Millwall. So, and like I said, Bradley Johnson, David Nugent and stuff. So some subs for them have gone. But it'll be an interesting season for Derby. I feel like they're going to produce a lot more youth, such as they've had Bogle and people like that. So, yeah, it's going to be 9th for Derby for me.
Okay, I agree. I think Derby have it's going to be lower than their previous seasons. I think a lot of fans are going to have to accept that it's going to be a bit of a damp season for them personally. But I haven't put them in 9th, so we have got a slight bit of difference.
Oh wow,
here.
love it.
I've gone with Bristol City in 9th place.
Nice.
For me, Derby, Bristol City, even Middlesbrough, you know, and maybe the next team up that I've gone with. I think they're going to be in a nice little rotation. Again, that's a really close sort of group of about 4 teams that are going to be in the mix of just missing out in the playoffs. Like, I think, again, Bristol City, I think a really good team, really good players. I know they've lost Liam Kelly, which is going to be a big loss for them. Is it? No, not Liam Kelly. Is that his name?
Yeah,
that is Liam Kelly.
Gone to Bournemouth.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a big miss. But you know, they got a decent bit of money for him. And that's going to be a good chance to sort of reinvest elsewhere. I think Bristol City sort of, I don't know, they've kind of crept up in how well they're doing. They're not a team that, when I sort of jump to mind, think around that playoff place. But actually, when you look at the squad, when you look at how they've been doing in recent years, I really think they can do it. Yeah, I really think they can be up that sort of easily top 10 for me. So yeah, 9th place for me is Bristol City. Bristol
City are an interesting one because like the way they've adapted over the certain years, like coming straight to Championship, took it by storm. They've been one of them teams that's kind of like a Wimbledon, like gone up so many leagues, then consolidating themselves, struggling, and then they're going to push on, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, Bristol City's a decent shout for. Did you say 9th? Did you say
9th? Yeah.
9th, right. 8th place though for me. I've gone with Huddersfield. Obviously relegated. I feel like they've lost a lot of their key players that they had in the Premier League, but were they key actually? Because they were absolutely dogging the Premier League. Like honestly, the worst. Like just fold. Like just stop. But yeah, they've let some of their players go, such as Jack Payne, Eric Durm, De Potra, Tommy Smith, and also Philip Billing. A lot of Huddersfield fans are saying that Billing was rubbish. They've got 50 million for him, so I guess that's a good bit of business they've got for him. Tommy Smith as well, their right back's gone to Stoke for 4 million, and also Jonas Lossell, their first team keeper's gone to Everton. They brought in Tommy Elphick, Reece Brown, Josh Koroma. Josh Koroma's a good sign as well from Leyton Orient. So it'd be interesting what Leyton Orient do this year because a lot of their youngsters have been pipped by youngsters. They brought in a goalkeeper from Liverpool, Kamil Gabara. But I feel like Huddersfield got a decent squad. If they manage to keep hold of Aaron Moy, then that would be a good holding for them because I feel like he's been the foundation they've built around for the past couple of years. They brought in Isaac Mbenza as well from Montpellier, the winger they had last year. But yeah, they've got a decent enough squad. They've come down, so I don't think expect fireworks from them. But I think they'll be alright. I think they'll be around that playoff spots. But you never know. Like Stoke last year predicted finished first. Where they finished 13th, 12th, something like that. So
right down there.
Yeah, so I think Huddersfield will be alright in 8th place.
I think Huddersfield are the hardest team to predict, honestly. I honestly think because they got 3 wins last season, like in the whole season.
You could just keep going down and down. Like it's that kind of mentality. Winning 3 games could just
Yeah, and that makes it so hard to predict them going down a league. But like you say, where does that line get drawn? You know,
It's
just
so hard to
because
get
the championship's still such a ridiculously tough league. So it's tricky. But I haven't got them in eighth place. I've got Derby. I think I agree with you. They are going to miss out. I think they're going to miss the loan signings they had last year. And I don't think they're going to do as well as maybe a lot of people predict. I don't think they're going to get playoffs. I think they will be part of a little group that just miss out. But yeah, I fully agree. I think Dow is a fantastic signing. He will be that sort of Mason Mount replacement almost.
And he's tall as well, so he could do everything.
Yeah, he's a really good versatile young player. Ingrid Nick, who's a Sheffield United fan, said, I know that he liked him being there last season. So I think around an 8th place finish, realistically with the players that they've lost technically because of like going back and whatever, I think is a good target. I think playoffs will be just a bit much from now.
Fair enough. 7th place for me, I decided to put Stoke. Improvement on last season, I believe they're going to have a massive improvement because the players they brought in, I think, very good signings in my opinion. They've got a lot of loan backs that have come back from loans, but obviously some players have left anyway. So the players have got back on loan, such as Imbula, he's come back from Real Vallecano. Kevin Wimmer's come back as well with the likes of Shawcross getting injuries, so he could come back into the side. But however, they've signed the likes of Tommy Smith, like I mentioned, Liam Lindsay from Barnsley, one of their best centre backs, Lee Gregory from Millwall, experienced striker of the Championship now. Adam Davies from Barnsley as well. So there's kind of a trend they're coming on, getting the best players from cheap clubs, in my opinion. But yeah, Nick Powell coming in from Wigan, Stephen Ward, the most Stoke signing you'll ever see in your life. Like he looks like the definition of Stoke. Jordan Cousins as well from QPR. I hope he does well at Stoke. He didn't set the world alight at QPR, but you could see a potential there. I feel like in his time at QPR, he was not used right. He's more of like a box-to-box midfielder. However, he was kind of used as like a deeper player. And then he got that box-to-box freedom when we played against Birmingham and we were losing 4-0 and he scored a goal, which that was probably the best I've seen him. As well as playing against Watford in the FA Cup. He was very good.
I think his biggest flaw is he was so versatile. He probably could play pretty much any position on that pitch. Yeah, so they tried to play him in any position on the pitch. And
if centre mid come off, they put him right back. And it's like you could just say he wasn't suited to it, but he can play there because like I don't know, it doesn't make sense in word speech, but he can play there. But if you watch him, he's very unsettled there. So yeah, used on the wing and stuff like that. So but yeah, Stoke. I think you have a decent season to be fair. Yeah, you just brought a lot of players in. I think you spent like 6 million, and you've obviously only let like 1 million go. So you haven't done too well there. But yeah, let likes of like Darren Fletcher go, Charlie Adam, Josh Tymon. I don't know why I let him go. I think he's a great player, Josh Tymon. Obviously we've got Jeff Cameron as well. So unlucky. But yeah, Stoke, you'll be alright. 7th place, just miss out the playoffs for me, but you could end up anywhere because some of the signings, mid-table-ish players, but with the manager you've got, I think you'll be alright.
Yeah, well, for me, just missing out is Brentford. I think Brentford have got quality team, which pains to say, obviously, as a QPR fan, but I think, honestly, again, Brentford are a team that last couple of seasons are doing nothing but improving. Like they're just becoming better and better with pretty much every season. And that can't be ignored. I think they are just going to miss out. I think them and the two teams I've got just in the playoffs. I think out of the teams that are just outside of it, Brentford are the most likely to just sort of slip in there. Because like I said, they're a great team. They've got great sort of young talent coming through, but they've managed to, for the last few seasons, really start building something that they're managing to keep hold of and they're managing to sort of push on. I think us picking up Barbe could be a big thing. I know that a lot of Brentford fans were pretty upset with him going.
And with him signing for us as well.
Yes, and coming to us probably made it twice as bad. But I think realistically, I think Brentford are going to have a bit of a belter season, but I think they are just going to miss out on that playoff place.
Fair play, yeah. I agree with what you said. However, I put Brentford in the playoffs at 6th place. This is where it gets controversial. Like this is where people think from like 10th downwards, or even anywhere on the thing. Like you could have like a Sheffield Wednesday fan saying, "Oh well, we could get playoffs," and I'll be like, "All right." My prediction though, you're watching the video. So Brentford, like you said 7th, I say 6th. So it's kind of just like I don't know. It's just, Brentford. They brought in some good players. They spent like £20 million, which for Brentford is good. They obviously get a new stadium as well, so they're getting money coming through Brentford. They've bought Pontus Jansson from Leeds. Going to be a great signing for them, in my opinion.
Fantastic pickup.
I'm baffled that he's gone because now they've got that whole Leeds where they played Berardi centre back. And you saw last year when new Leeds fans said, even I saw on Twitter a lot, and I've kind of analysed myself. When Jansson's not in the team, there's just no leadership there. Like I saw last year, you had like Berardi and Cooper at the back, and it's the first time like there's a proper mistake between them, and that's when Marriott went through and scored and got the game back on track. So yeah, they've signed some decent players. Got David Raya from Blackburn, good goalkeeper. Obviously they've sold Daniel Bentley to Bristol City. A bit of a strange one because I thought Daniel Bentley was going to be the next big thing, to be fair, but yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. But yeah, not really they brought in a couple. To be fair, they've actually brought in some Danish players, which is quite interesting. Brought in Matthias Jensen from Celta Vigo, but yeah, I think it'll be a decent sign for Brentford. They keep pushing on. However, they have lost Sawyers and Konza, two very big players for them. But in my opinion, I think Brentford will be alright. I think they'll get in the playoffs just about because they can only keep improving, and they missed out on playoffs the last couple of years. So I think pushing on for Brentford as well. Remember the first year under Warburton they got in the playoffs. So Warburton, do your magic, please. But yeah, Brentford 6th place.
Well, much like you've done with Brentford and Stoke being the other way around, I've got Stoke in 6th. I mean, I can't say too much more than obviously what you've already said, but I do think that Stoke, Brentford and Stoke, like I said, it could be either way around. Either of us, I think, could very much be correct with that prediction of 7th and 6th. And I just think that Stoke, they've just picked up a few good players. Like you say, they've got some good loans coming back. They've got rid of a little bit of dead weight. I still see them picking up maybe another striker. And I think they've got one of the best midfields in the league. On paper, anyway. Last season they didn't perform as well as they should have done. But I think this season is going to be a bit of a rocket, and I think they'll do a dance like better, and I do see them just about making it into the playoffs.
Fair play. Yeah, I believe that though. Yeah, like I said, any of these sides they could finish anywhere, so you don't really know, to be honest. 5th for me, I've gone with Bristol City. I believe you put them in 9th, didn't you? Yeah, I'll put them in 5th. This is a bit of a controversial one, so far away, but I feel like it's Bristol City's time. Like, watching us play against them, and just watching them in general. It's not Liam Kelly, by the way, it's Lloyd Kelly. I just realised
Kelly.
Yeah, Lloyd Kelly. But I don't know, it's a bit weird because Bristol City have been a very good side over the last couple of years. They've obviously established themselves as a championship side, and I feel like they're going to keep kicking on. They've made some great signings, such as Thomas Callas from Chelsea finally left. He was the longest serving Chelsea player at the club at that current time before leaving, and he's not played a game. Like, imagine that. They've signed Jay Da Silva from Chelsea as well, 2 million. So yeah, that'd be a great signing. We're linked with him as well.
Yeah,
Daniel Bentley, they got in Tommy Rowe from Doncaster, free transfer. That's decent. Sammy Smodics from Colchester, great signing. He looks class, to be fair. Yeah, they brought in Rennie Gilmartin from Colchester as well. Colchester lost both their keepers, mad. But they brought in the Cundy brothers, whoever they are, from Bath and Exeter. So yeah, but I just think it would be a decent sign. They've lost some of their better players, but they've replaced them with some good players as well, such as the Chelsea boys. Players know what they're supposed to be doing, so, and they've also been there last year, so they've obviously kept the squad they had last year there. Haven't let too much go in attacking options, really, so they've replaced what they haven't got. So Bristol City, I think you have a solid season. You're going to finish 5th.
Fair enough. Well, I've gone with Leeds in 5th. I think they'll make playoffs, as Leeds often do. And for me, Leeds, I think, are just going to have a very similar season to last season. Like, I don't think they're going to be quite as high up for as often, but I can see them being easily top 6 for pretty much from the get-go. And I see them sitting somewhat comfortably into the playoffs. I don't see them not making playoffs this season. I can't say too much more other than I reckon they're going to have a bit of a Leeds season. Do you know what I mean? Like,
they'll probably be first at Christmas and then just end up falling down. Like,
I don't see them hitting top of the table at any point, personally. No, I personally see them literally being between 3rd and 6th the entire season. I don't see them dropping out of it, but I don't see them pushing up.
Fair play.
It's a tricky one, though. It's a tricky one.
Yeah, it is. 4th place, I'd put Leeds.
Fair enough.
Mainly just because I feel like they are better than Bristol City and Brentford, but I don't think they'll go up, Leeds. I think they'll be in the Championship for a couple more seasons. I don't think Leeds will actually go up, in my opinion. mainly just because they've had their chances. They bottled every chance they've had, and I feel like so many sides are getting better now, and more money's being spent. They've spent no money so far, Leeds, at all. Bringing the likes of Ben White from Brighton, bit of a weird signing in my opinion. Helder Costa, good signing. That's a great signing.
That is a good pickup. That's a very good
They've got
pickup.
Jack Clark back. Obviously signed him to Tottenham. I got him back on loan for the season. But apart from that, they got the likes of like Vernon Anita back from loan and stuff like that. But they haven't really got anyone in that's really to note. They have let over like 90 million go. I believe they're signing Jack Harrison back. I think they've signed him, so maybe they'll spend a bit of money, but I don't know. It's a bit of a tricky one for Leeds. I feel like they've still got a decent squad, but it's more youthful now. And I feel like if Bielsa don't get his way this season, he will end up throwing his toes at the pram and leave. Like he'll just end up sitting on that box and somewhere else. But yeah, Size is gone, Janssen's gone, Jack Clark's gone, but realistically he's back, but he's kind of gone at the same time. So yeah, for me, Leeds is going to finish fourth. I'm going to finish fourth.
Okay. Now I've gone with Cardiff for fourth.
Oh wow!
I do think they're going to do well. Obviously, I've got nothing but love for Warnock. I think Warnock for me is one of my favourite managers ever, absolutely ever, and he is an absolute master at getting teams like promoted. Like he really is. But I just don't. I don't know. For me, and this could be somewhat biased, and it could just be my preference on players and teams and stuff. The team doesn't set the world on fire for me. Like I think they've still got work to do to push into that sort of automatic places. For me, they're one of my favourites to go up in the playoffs with the teams I've got in there. Between them and who I've got in third, I do think they'll really make a push for it. I just don't think they're quite going to make it into that top two.
Yeah.
But you know they've got some great players. They've let go of a bit of wouldn't say deadwood. They've lost a couple of bigger players.
Yeah, Sahoro.
Yeah, I think he'll be a bit missed.
8 million for him.
Yeah, I think they signed a striker this morning, and I can't remember who it was. I think I saw it as I was scrolling through Twitter, but I can't remember for the life of me who it was. But I see them doing well enough to get really high up there, but I just don't see it automatic for me, and I'm probably annoying a few Cardiff. I'm probably surprised a lot of people with that, but I just don't quite see him making that top two.
It's White, wherever he is, and then they've signed some geezer called Glatzel, where his name
is. That's it. I don't know who he is, but I saw that they'd signed someone.
Fair enough. Right, for me, I'll put Cardiff third. Now, I've changed this halfway through the video, because I did have Cardiff top, but as I was looking through transfers and the sides I had in my top three, I decided to change Cardiff, simply just because the kind of deals they've made have been very intelligent, they've been good deals. However, I don't feel like their deals are going to set the world on fire, and I feel like they do have a good squad, but I don't feel like they've got enough quality to get in that top two, like you just said. They signed in Aidan Flint, which is a good signing. He pops up with quite a few goals. Wherever he is getting to the end of his career now, like 30, so it would be a good signing for them a couple of years ago. Didn't have the best season last year at Middlesbrough, so he's been sold quickly. And Brian Glatzel from FC Heidenheim, or wherever they are. But yeah, Bundesliga signing, 5 million, so that's alright. Will Volks, though, they've actually signed from Rotherham, so he's a good signing, to be fair. Gavin White, obviously Joe Day, good signing from Newport, goalkeeper. He's Welsh as well, so that will go down well. He was born Welsh, but he's English, so I don't know how to put that across. But and Curtis Nelson as well. So they've raided Oxford United, but yeah, they've kept some of their good players. I saw Neil Warnock said the other day it's the best championship side he's ever managed. So Neil, did you forget our season or something? Like, we absolutely dominated that league with even having a point deduction on the back of us. You're never going to get a player like Alejandro Falling and Tarap linking up like that ever again. So Neil, disrespectful that.
To Neil, you've got to say Tarabat, because he still, to this day, I don't think knows how to say his name.
Tarabat. Tarapt, Neil, right? It's Adel Tarapt.
For me, in third, I think this is the biggest difference between our teams, like that we predicted. I've got Huddersfield in third. I'm pretty sure you said 8th for Huddersfield.
I said 8th. Man, that's surprising. Yeah. I was trying to think, like, where have you put Huddersfield, like?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go up automatically. But for me, it's between them and Cardiff in the playoffs. For me, like you say, with the players they've still managed to keep hold of for now, like Aaron Moy, I think has the potential to be one of the best players in the Championship if he stays. I think they're still going to, improve here and there. They've got a couple of players in. Obviously, they've let a few players go. Billing, like you say, a lot of fans didn't want around anymore, didn't want in the dressing room. And if it's if you know, because Billing's a decent player. I
thought he was decent. He got a good long
yeah,
shot.
I think if fans of Huddersfield are saying, "Oh, he was rubbish," whatever, I don't think that's entirely true. I think it's more what's happened, and they're like, "We got rid of him."
Yeah, they had a crap season there. I think they think everyone's rubbish. To be fair.
Yeah, but I think if he was negative sort of in the dressing room, that's a good thing to get negativity out of the way and get rid of that. So that could help. That could be a nice positive. Yes, they had a really rough season last season. I personally see them bouncing back a bit and having a half decent season. Do I think they're ready to get promoted again? No, but do I think they can do well in the Championship this season? Yeah, I think third or fourth. I think them and Cardiff for me is a bit of a mix up, but I've said third and I'll stick with it, and I think they'll do okay.
Yeah, no, I respect that. Yeah, second for me then. I'm going to our top two. So who's going to be our champion? For me, I was going to go for West Brom. Mainly because they've had a really good window, in my opinion. They've had a fantastic window. They've sold 26 million worth of players, which has been Rondon, Craig Dawson, Jay Rodriguez, and yeah, they've let go such as Gareth Barry, Tyrone Mears, Bose Myhill, Jefferson Montero, Wesley Houlihan, and James Morrison. So a lot of the big earners at the club have gone. Obviously getting 17 million for Rondon, gone to the same club as Rafa Benitez, so Rafa's rekindled with his love child. But bringing in West Brom, made some great signings such as Zahore, a proven striker, only 25 as well, so it could be a good talisman for them if they manage to stay up in the Premier League, or just have that kind of, because these sides, though, to be fair, 6th to 1st, easily you can say yo-yo clubs between the Championship and Premier League, and sadly that's just how it is these days. Like a Championship club would do so well in the Championship, come first, phenomenal, brilliant, get to the Premier League, and it's like so much difference, and that's
such
why
a step up.
That is why from 7th down to like 20th, there's like 20 points from 6th to 7th, and like 40 points from 7th to bottom. It's just so different. Like that is why people are like, oh, the Premier League's not the best league in the world, it's not competitive. It is competitive. It's just you need to look at it that way. But they signed. I've gone off track. We've talked about West Brom here, James. Zahore, brought in Sawyers, great sign as well, captain for Brentford. Furlong, not going to talk about that one. Ajayi,
too soon.
They brought in Krovinic from Benfica. Looks a great signing, like a loan. So good signing for them as well. So they've got Oliver Burke back on loan from Celtic. So I think if given a chance, he'll be good. He's rapid. So West Brom's second. So they've 30 million worth of profits. So I believe West Brom will have a great season this year with Slaven Bilic as well. He knows how to play football. Obviously with West Ham it's a bit toxic for him, but in the Championship I think he's probably one of the best managers, to be honest.
Yeah, I fully agree. West Brom second place for me. I think Bilic is going to be phenomenal there. I think A, he's bringing the right players in. B, he's getting rid of the right players for the right price. I think they're doing very well, like you say, with the prices they're selling people for and the people they're deciding to let go. They're not letting go of much first team. Like yes, a couple like Rondon, obviously, whatever. Like, but he wasn't first team last season anyway because he wasn't there. But like, I think they're letting go of the right players so they can bring the right people in. Like I think the Bilic factor is going to be fantastic this season, and I see him doing enough.
Yeah, they're still bringing in Gale as well. Apparently, that's on the way.
Yeah, that's still meant to be going on. So if they bring in Gale, they probably will have the best striker partnership in the league, I reckon.
Yeah, Gale is. It's weird with Gale because he's such a good player in the Championship. When he gets to the Prem, he just isn't great. So it's weird.
He just doesn't hit it.
It's just so weird how it changes like that. Like so much. It just proves my points of quality. So yeah, I've gone West Brom second. Tom's got West Brom second, which means it pains me to absolutely say this,
it hurts
and
so
it
much
really makes me want to punch a wall. But for me, Fulham fans, I don't have anything against you guys. I don't like Fulham though, as we are your rivals. But Fulham, GG's to you guys. I think you'll finish top. I think you've got an amazing squad, to be fair.
Unbelievable.
Obviously, you've went down from the Premier League, but you maintained some of your best players. You let go of likes of Seri. Obviously, he's gone out on loan. Babel's left on a free. Zambo and Greece has gone. Lazer Markovic has gone. Schürrle's gone. Nordveit, Vieta and Sergio Rico. However, you brought in the likes of Anthony Knockaert, which he's probably the best Championship loanee Championship player that I've seen in the past couple of years. Like, I'd say on par, not contribution wise, but ability wise, on par with Tarat in the 2010 season. Like,
he's got to be up there.
He's really good. Ivan Cavallero as well. What a signing on loan as well. He single-handedly carried Wolves to the Premier League when he played for them, when they had like Helder Costa and stuff. So yeah, you brought in great players, to be fair. I don't know whether Ryan Sessegnon will stay. I think he might stay, he might leave. We've got like Tom Cairney still there, Kevin McDonald, Stefan Johansson's back there as well after having a decent season with West Brom on loan. But yeah, I just think you guys got a great squad, to be fair. Fulham, I can't see anything else happening, but Fulham could end up bottling it just because of how many players they've let go from their Premier League season. You might clear. They haven't got like some Callum Chambers anymore, so I think they will need to still buy some players in certain positions. But looking at their squad, Mitrovic they've kept. I don't know how they kept him.
Me is
baffled
phenomenal.
me. He signed a new contract. Like it could just be because of maybe in January get my money for him. Could be that, but
possibly. I think that's a masterstroke though. Keeping hold of Mitro is just unbelievable.
Fulham, well done to you guys. As much as I love QPR, you will be finishing top from me anyway.
Yeah, no, agreed. Fulham first place for me here. I like I said, nothing against the fan base. I have good banter with a lot of Fulham fans.
Yeah.
But just because it's QPR Fulham, same with like Brentford, we don't like them.
Depressing really. Fulham and Brentford doing better than us.
Yeah. But you know, I think realistically, like you said, the fact they've got Seri out on loan is good because if they do go straight back up, he's going to come straight back in, and I think he'll fit into the team. I think Sessegnon will stay. I think Cairney probably will stay. I think Cairney might go in January. I think there'll be a couple of newly promoted teams. I can see him fitting in like beautifully at like a Norwich.
Sheffield United maybe.
Well, if they hadn't got someone like Freeman in and someone like Ravel Morrison.
Oh yeah, for me, Ravel Morrison.
Yeah, for me, Cairney would have been the perfect fit because I think he suits a play style. Yeah. So I think he'd have been the perfect fit, but they for me strongest squad in the championship.
No doubt.
100%. I still think they need to get like a decent centre back in, like you say. Chambers going, Zambo Anguissa. I know it didn't quite work out for him really, but a decent centre back just improved that defensive line, and I honestly think that they're just going to be unstoppable this season. I really do. I think they're going to run it pretty easily. Honestly, I think they're going to be top for pretty much the whole way. And will just cement Premier League football again.
I believe so. But they could end up having a rocky start like Newcastle did that year, and then Newcastle did end up going. But yeah, boys, there you go. It's been a very long discussion, but I believe it's been very well detailed, very well analysed, and it's quite mad how from 10th down to 24th, there was a couple different positions. So really, as a whole, I think our predictions for Millwall and Huddersfield were the biggest shocks. Like you had Millwall 3rd, and I had them 8th, and I had Millwall 24th. But realistically, together as a cohesive group, and we haven't actually spoke about it at all. I didn't even know Tom planned this much. I've literally done my predictions last night, and I've literally sat there before I went to bed and thought, right, let me have a proper think about this because make it a good video because these kind of videos do well. So yeah. But yeah, there are predictions. So if you guys want to run through it, you guys can. They'll be in. I'll put the badges up on the screen. So I'll probably make like an outro screen for the people we do, and then I'll be doing this at the end of the season as well. Me and Tom will speak about each other's predictions and say how wrong and right we were. Yeah, boys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to smash the like. Make sure to go and check Tom's channel out because he's an absolute legend for helping me out. Thank you very much, man. And make sure to go and watch this video with me as well because we'll be doing a beloved QPR video. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, please remember to smash the like button and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.